Hi, welcome to my channel, Takia Katero. Today is Friday, August 1st, 2025. It's August 1st. So before I get started, I want to remind anyone that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. If they resonate with you, it gives you clarity, great. If it does not, then don't force it to be your story. So, we're already in August, right? June went by fast, July went by fast, May went by fast. I don't know. I don't feel like I have much to say about that. I feel like there's something that's just unexpected, but like it's expected. I don't know, like one of those things, like you know it's coming, but you don't know when it's coming. But I feel like it's not good or bad. It's just something that it just is, like change. Changes. It's just change. It's just change is the inevitable, right? I guess it just depends on how you personally feel about it and how it's happening for you. Like karma is just karma, right? It just depends on whether you're on the good end of it, what is that, or the bad end of it, right? Realistically speaking, though, it's not good or bad. It's just these are the actions of your consequences, right? Whether it's good consequences or bad consequences. But I feel like for some people, the bad karma, the bad consequences, the bad changes can feel like they're being punished, but ultimately it is just a result. That's why. It's just a result, right, of your actions or inactions, right? Bad things people can experience bad karma as well due to inaction, right? But that's a whole thing. Kind of like witnessing a crime and doing and saying nothing about it, right? But there are bad consequences to that because you saw, you knew, you did nothing, you said nothing. So now you are also held liable. You are now in contempt. Something like that. Alright? It's like somebody knew something. They said nothing. They did nothing. Right? It's like they were witnessing a crime or an injustice being done to you. And because it's kind of like, well, you knew about it, so you must be in the know. No, I just didn't say because, well, that's not how that works. Alright. I'm getting like morally bankrupt people. You know what I was thinking too recently? How like the world, well not the world, the US is in like trillions of dollars in debt and all that. I was thinking like what if the US is, I mean obviously they say it all the time that the US is in debt. But what if they're not in debt with money, right? What if it's something else that they're in debt for? But they can't say, so they have to equate it to money. I don't know. It was just something I was playing around with. It's so good. Alright, on another note, I wrote a book. I plan to publish at some point. When I do, I will post a link. So if you want to support by buying a copy, it's less than $20. The price does vary, but depending on paperback and hardcover. But either way, it's going to be less than $20, okay? But when the time arrives, I will let everybody know. I'll post a link as well on my community board. If anyone interested. It's a very easy to read book. It's a novelette, right? Less than 200 pages. Okay. Nothing crazy. So, I wrote it for fun. apples. To taste, one must swallow it whole, and beneath the satin flames hides drowning waters. I feel like there's a truth that you have to accept, right? Because I feel like it's coinciding. I just flipped the deck. It's coinciding with this change, alright? She's playing games. She's fine. There's a change. Change is inevitable. It's going to happen no matter what, right? Whether you're ready or not, it's gonna happen. It doesn't really care. All right, so buck up. It's gonna happen. So, but I feel like there's this truth that you have to swallow. It's more like an acceptance. You have to accept this reality or this truth. Okay, and I feel like a lot of it has to do with your good karma, your good consequences, your good energy, your good changes, right? You have to accept that in order to walk in that. There's something. What am I getting? I just seen like an apple being bit. I wanted to say you have to bite the apple, and I feel like that's kind of like a representation of like you have to acknowledge the truth. Despite come what may, right? You have to acknowledge the truth, come what may, right? So I feel like there's something like that here. There's a truth, and I feel like you are already keen to it. You are already aware to it. It's just, it's one of those things. Listen, I'm getting an example, okay? So just use this as an example, okay? 649. You know how like in some movies and TV shows and all that stuff like that, a woman finds out she's pregnant, but she doesn't want to accept that. She's not ready to accept it. For whatever reason, I don't know. But she's like, no, 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 no. It's no, no, right? But you are. Right, so I feel like for a lot of you, it may not even be a baby, a little bebe, right? But you're about to give birth to something, or there's this massive. See, when you have a child, that is a change. That is a change right there. Your life changes, whether you are prepared for it or not, whether you want to or not. You have to now adjust your entire life based on this new living, being, present thing in your life, right? It's just how it is, right? It's just how it is. But the thing is, if once you're prepared for it, you're never truly really prepared, right? But if you're at that point where you can accept that, it just makes the transition so much easier, right? It makes it easier. It's like you can, the more you are aware and prepare yourself, the easier it is for you to enjoy these new changes and relish and, you know, things like that. So I feel like it's something like that. There's a truth that you have to acknowledge, right? And you are already somewhat aware of this because of your intuition, right? But it's kind of like the sooner you acknowledge this, the quicker you'll be able to enjoy it. Okay? So, or the happier you'll be, or I think it's just stress about the realization or the acceptance of it, right? It's kind of like when a child graduates, right? You're the parent, you're watching your child graduate, and it's like you have to accept that moment when your child is walking across the stage and they are no longer your high school child anymore, right? They are now leaving the nest and exploring the world, right? But that moment you have to realize, you have to accept it. They're not my baby anymore. That was gonna be a baby, right? But they're now able to. It's something like that. This is now a period of acceptance where you have to accept something for what it is, right? And the sooner you kind of like do that, the easier the transition, the easier, I don't know, the shift will be, right? There's some sort of truth that you have to acknowledge and accept. Accept it for what it is, right? Rebirth. This card came out again. This card came out yesterday too. Rebirth. There's a death in all that awakens, for it isn't blissful nor painless. It's a mighty rising of flame resurrected. So, yeah, I feel like I feel like one of the reasons why people can have trouble accepting this, Jesus Christ, is because it's kind of like essentially like a burning of what once was, like a phoenix in the flame, right? You want to hold on to what once was, or who you were, or how things were, or a job, a relationship, a place, a mindset. I believe but it's part of you want to hold on to that because there's familiarity, comfortable history, memories, right? But that was for that time, that relationship, that job, that mindset, that belief, that desire, that friendship, that relationship, partnership, that business. It was for that time. That time is no more. Okay, it's no longer I don't want to say needed or useful, because it definitely was needed, it definitely was useful, but it's more like it's not exactly, you've learned all that you can. Okay, you've learned all that you can. Now I think the acceptance is now time to grow, time to move on, time to fly. All right, you gone through a rebirth. Okay, it's like buying a brand new purse or a brand new backpack, right? It could be smaller in size, or the pockets are built differently on the inside. Everything that you once carried in your old backpack or in your old purse, I feel like this right here is common sense. When you get a new purse, not everything, when you realize, like when you're switching purses, and I've noticed this, right? Not everything that was in my old purse goes into my new purse. Not everything, right? Maybe like old tissues, old napkins, an old wallet, an old lip gloss, old paperwork, whatever. Maybe even some coins. Not everything makes it to the new purse. It's just how it is. Some things, it's just not necessary to take everything with you. Okay? You kind of have to like let that go. But I feel like that's the biting of the apple, accepting that truth, accepting what you know. You just have to accept it. We have the moon reversed. There's something that you are already aware of. Something is not a secret to you. Okay? Also, there are things that are being revealed to you as well. Information, secrets, knowledge. Alright? Because you went through this rebirth. Alright? Because if you haven't already, you're in the process of accepting, acknowledging, alright? Trusting. The more you do that, the more it's like a bitter feeling, like a bittersweet feeling, right? Where you have to like say goodbye to the old and welcome in the new, right? It's bittersweet. Bitter because you're saying goodbye, but it's sweet because, yeah, a whole new adventure, a whole new this, a whole new that, right? But it's like, aw, goodbye to the old, aw, goodbye to the old times, those memories, but right? It's like that, right? There's always going to be that moment, that milestone where you say goodbye to the old, you welcome in the new. Right? It's like you saying goodbye to someone who's dying, and then simultaneously in the next room, there's a new life being born. I keep getting like you're uncovering secrets, knowledge, hidden wisdom. These are things that were buried in the subconscious, maybe your subconscious, buried in the earth, your earth. These are things that are like being brought up to the surface essentially. What time is it? I don't have time. I think I'm gonna get some French fries. Do you want some French fries? Okay. Me too. I want some French fries. Five of Cups on the fence. Yeah. It says energy of the unexpected. That was one of the first things that I said. Look, energy of the unexpected, conflict, movement, changes. Changes, right? That's literally what I've been talking about. That's right, kiddo. Right? And with this rebirth energy, you could be a Scorpio, or this just heavy Scorpio energy about transformation, Phoenix of Rising, right? It's a lot of that happening right now, and it's unavoidable. It's inevitable. It's inevitable, right? The inevitable is inevitable. You cannot stop this. This is going to happen, whether you're ready or not, whether you want to or not, okay? So I feel like it's better to be prepared and to welcome this new change with open arms than to hold on to a version of you that you've outgrown. It's kind of like, I'm seeing a lot of scenarios right now, but I gotta like, okay. So yeah, Five of Cups on the fence. Energy of the unexpected, conflict, movement, changes. I feel like with that conflict though, there could be some people that might want to argue and fight you because you're the one that's changing, you're the one that has movement, you're the one that's moving forward, you're the one that's going through the rebirth collective as a whole, right? So there could be people that want to fight you because they're stuck. There aren't new things happening for them. They can't move, they can't change, they can't progress. This is how they feel, okay? I'm not saying that is their truth. I'm not saying that is their reality, all right? But that is how they feel. And because that is how they feel, they are manifesting that for themselves, okay? There's a difference, all right? Just how I be saying, oh, they're depressed. That is not forever, because anybody can choose to not be depressed anymore. Anybody can overcome that obstacle of being depressed, all right? Not everybody's going to be depressed forever, right? Not everybody's going to lose forever. Not the just you're a prime example of that, collective. You're a prime example of that. You were stuck for a very long time. Absolutely, yes, for sure. But that was never going to be forever, right? But anyways, so there's conflict concerning this, concerning your movement forward, your changes, right? Because it's so unexpected to these people. It could even be unexpected to you, like, whoa, wow, when did my car start going? When did I start walking? When did I start having accomplishments? When did I start moving? It could be, maybe you were unexpected, but that's what I've been saying. Whether you're ready or not, it's happening. It's going to happen. Whether you're ready or not, whether you want to or not, right? It's kind of like, you're literally being carried. And for the longest of times, right? I haven't had this dream in a while, but I'm not complaining about that either. But for the longest of times, I used to have these dreams of being carried. I didn't have to walk. It's not that I didn't have to. It's just, I was just being carried by these big, giant humanoid beings, and they were all in white, and I was just being carried from one place to another. And it felt so safe and so comfortable and so warm, and I just felt so, like, relaxed. Alright? So, the reason why I'm bringing that dream up, those dreams, because there are a plethora of those dreams, okay? But the reason why I'm bringing up those dreams to tell you these dreams is because when you allow these changes, that's the outcome. Peace, joy, happiness. Right? When you're stuck and you can't go anywhere, it's very frustrating, very irritating, angry, sad, depressing, right? Things like that. But you're moving. You have movement. You have change, right? You have rebirth. You have that. And I feel like because you have that, you're going to have people looking around you wanting to be in the either Five of Swords, argue with you, or in the Five of Wands, fighting with you, because you have change. So they want to essentially bring you conflicts because, well, that's not fair that your car is moving. That's not fair that your life is moving. That's not fair. Why am I stuck in this mud? Well, have you tried to get yourself out of this mud? Well, I'm just waiting to be carried out. Yeah, but you kind of have to do something on your end too, my friend. You have to do something, right? God helps those who helps themselves. You have to do it in the physical. So anyways, so you have a lot of changes happening for you. And I feel like for a lot of you, this was unexpected, right? One of the first things in the reading I said was the unexpected is expected, right? Always expect the unexpected, right? And I know that's kind of like redundant. That may sound like, that doesn't make any sense. How am I supposed to? But it's just, if you're really understanding about the layers of these things, right? It's kind of like expect the unexpected. That's it. That's a whole saying right there, right? Energy of the unexpected, conflict, movement, changes, rebirth. Okay, and then again with that Scorpio energy, in one room, someone could be dying. Hypothetically speaking, this is just for this. I mean, it happens anyways. So, one room, someone could be dying, right? And another room, another life is being born. Right? Now, if you really want to step back, it could be a person's reputation is dying, right? Because it was built on false stones, false sand, whatever. And essentially, you built up your reputation. So your reputation is being born. Right? Someone's health could be dying. Your health could be increasing. Right? Someone's mind could be... Someone could be losing their mind. And your mind could be sharper than ever. Alright? Someone could be losing their intuition. And your intuition is just... one gift after another, okay? That's nice and warm. You know, it's starting to get like... One of my favorite things about autumn is the chilly mornings. I love that. It just sets the tone for the day. Right? And I love, like, being able to, like... Don't get me wrong. Dressing in the summer is super cute and fun, right? But then you gotta sweat. And then sometimes you have to, like, take multiple showers because of the sweating and the stickiness. Or you gotta change your outfit because of the sweatiness and the stickiness, right? Or you can't even enjoy your outfit, right? It's something, I don't know, but... In the fall, right? If you know how to layer it properly and wear it properly, you can wear almost some of the same outfits that you can wear in the summer, but it's funner this way without the sticky rubbing, the sweating, right? I love layering clothes together. It's just fun and it's cute, right? And it's warm, right? Like one of my favorite things to wear is like insulated stockings. That's a thing. Insulated stockings. That's a thing. You can't wear those in the summertime because you're gonna heat up, but in the fall you can. And insulated stockings makes any outfit look so cute. Shorts, skirts, dresses, so cute. All right, I love it. I love style. Okay, high fashion, like labels and things like I don't really care about. I like dressing up. It's fun and I'm really good at it. Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot. Okay. Oh, jeez Louise. Oh my gosh, all these cards. We have the Six of Swords reversed, the Chariot reversed, and the Queen of Cups upright, and the Nine of Swords upright. So these are all the cards that stayed in my hands. There could be somebody that's trying to stop your forward movement, Queen of Cups. You could be a Queen of Cups. I do feel like that's where the conflict is going to come from. There's someone that's trying to stop you from moving forward. This could be somebody that's trying to like not arrest you, but trying to like put you in a position where you're stuck. You can't move forward. This could be something legal. This could be something where your finances are tied up. You see in movies all the time, in like horror movies, for example, like the supernatural horror movies, right? Where the family... Oh my god, I was thinking of Shining Veil. First of all, if you have not seen Shining Veil, it's on HBO. There's only like, I think 1 or 2 seasons. You should watch it. It is hilarious. It's actually like a horror show, right? Like it's really, there are some scary parts to it, but it's also like really, really funny to me. I just thought it was hilarious. I don't know why, but it's like a comedy horror, but it's more horror, but it's still really funny. I don't know. You should watch it. I should watch it again. It left off on a cliffhanger. They should. I think they're gonna renew it though. They should, because it's really, really good. Anyways, on it. Dang, what was I saying? Oh, yes. Okay. So, in those supernatural horror movies, right? I'm getting really excited. You always see that happy family, blah, right? They're so happy, but because of some sort of financial situation, they buy this house. So all their money's tied up in that house. So that's like their last resort. Like that's, you know. So they can't go anywhere else. And it just so happens to be that that beautiful house that they bought, that they thought they were going to be finally able to rest and relax in, is haunted. And it happens all the time. And they can't leave the house because all their money is tied up in the house. Right? There's something like this. It's like somebody wants to tie you up in something so where you physically cannot go. Alright? And you could be the Queen of Cups. And I feel like the Queen of Cups is watching this. Right? You're watching this attempt happen on you. Okay? You're watching this. But because you're so intuitive, you can see this. You're aware of this. Alright? This is a conflict that is being attempted to go towards you. Right? Somebody is trying to bring this conflict towards you to get you stuck in the past, your past, or in a past with them, alright? So that you can't move forward, alright? It's like they see you winning, and they want to keep you stuck and defeated, lost, betrayed, sad, anxiety, depressed, angry, frustrated, right? It's like how they feel, it's like they want to gift it to you in a box. Here you go, here's frustration, stagnation, defeating, betrayal. Here is this lovely gift for you, from me to you. That's how it's coming across. And you're just like, I see exactly what's inside that box. You're trying to not only give me Pandora's box, but trying to get me to open it. Okay? So, you see this. You're aware of this. And you know the only reason why this is happening is because you went through a rebirth and you're having movements and changes are happening for you. And the only reason why is because this was so unexpected for you, for this to happen to you, then now it's like, now all of a sudden you have a problem. Now all of a sudden, right, you want to, it's something like that, right? Because before, I feel like wherever this energy is coming from, whether it's a karmic masculine, a karmic feminine, a karmic group of people, before, they were perfectly fine just like kicking you down, keeping you in the gutter, not even paying attention to you. Now all of a sudden, they want to pay attention to you. Now all of a sudden they have a problem. Now all of a sudden they have voices they have concerns to voice and opinions and advice and this and that. Like, I see everything that you're doing. I see it. That's why you're doing it, to keep the Queen of Cups or the King of Cups, depending on who you are, stuck and stagnant and trapped in the past. They don't want you to move forward. That's what they don't want. But it's inevitable, right? Change is inevitable. This is all about change, transformation, rebirth, right? Death, life. It's all about that. This is all about that. And you went through this. You see this. You're looking right at it, right? It's as if they might as well put everything in a clear box and give it to you. That's essentially what this is. Because the Queen of Cups is seeing. The Queen of Cups is the most intuitive, psychic, tapped in, all right? She knows why you're doing it. She knows who's who, what's what, right? I'm getting the High Priestess in Tarot now, all right? And not only that, but she knows your emotional intent, your emotional feelings. She sees it. Like, she sees why you're doing it, right? A lot of these things that people are coming towards you with, these gifts are not from love and light, right? And you have discernment. You can see what's in those boxes, right? Negativity, betrayal, curses, hexes, malicious intent, right? Stagnation, right? They could even try to be giving you a cursed object, right? You're like, I see that curse inside that box. So yeah, this is what they're trying to do, the Queen of Cups. Now, for others of you, it could be a Queen of Cups that's trying to do this to you, a karmic Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, feminine that is trying to do this to you, but it did come out of Queen of Cups, so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say you are the Queen of Cups, whether you're a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, but you're just very intuitive and you're emotionally aware and intelligent, all right, and you understand why this is happening. That's very important, right? People go their entire lives, why is this happening, why is this happening, why is this happening, why is this happening, right? And then because they don't know, they do worse things, or they go down the wrong path, or they lose out on opportunities. But you, being the Queen of Cups, or the King of Cups, bless you, my love, you understand why. Bless you because you're emotionally intelligent. You're emotionally aware. You're emotionally tapped in. And you could be very, 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 very high-ranking empathic. Okay? So, you see this clearly. There's something... I'm beginning this song for the past couple days by Florence and the Machine. And it's called What the Water Gave Me. Okay? So, the water loves you. Whether you're Queen of Cups or Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, the water loves you. Okay? You are... And I feel like there's something about memories. Water holds memory. I don't know if you know that or not, but that is a fact. Water holds memory. Okay? And the water loves you. Right? So your flow, your soul flows, alright, like water. And water holds memory. So this is... It's like... This is new but not new. This is new but not new. It's like it's new. For example, this is new, not new. So the best example I can explain that what I just said is by using this as an example, right? 311. Okay. So a woman, she announces her pregnancy. Oh my God, congratulations! Oh, I'm so happy for you, right? Her announcement is new. Women having babies, that's not new, right? So it's like this. This is new, but it's also not new. Okay. I just got this job. Congratulations, you got the job. I'm so happy for you. That announcement for them is new. But people getting jobs, it's not new. Alright? Does that make sense? I'm not trying to downplay or anything, but that's just what I'm trying to say. Like, this is new, but it's not new. Alright? This could be new for you, right? But it's not new because water holds memory. This is something that's... It's not new. But this is like a new journey for you. For your soul. Okay? What else? Let me see. What time is it? What time is it? I'm hearing, what is that? It is, what is that? Like that war marching. It's like a war marching band. Not a marching band. It's like a war theme. You know? When they're when the Cavaliers march or something. I know. It's right there. The Cavaliers something. It's like when when someone's like racing, they're racing towards something, right? And like when they reach their destination, like something big is gonna happen, right? Like a war is gonna break out, or the turn of events. You have two? They're babies. That's the mama? Oh. Alright, let me see something. The marching cavalier refers to a variety of marching bands and drum corps, most notably the Cavaliers Drum and Bugle Corps and the Marching Highland Cavaliers. That's not what I want. It's that one song. It's usually played in TV, movies, mostly cartoons, when the character, and they're usually almost always like on a horse, and they're racing, and they're racing, and they're racing, and it's like they're racing towards something, and once they reach the destination, that's when like an explosion happens, or like the turn of events, or like a war breaks out, or like they finally get off their horse and they just slice down the enemy, and it's something like that. That's what I just heard. But I'm not... That's not... I did a reading not too long ago where it was like a king of wands that was keeping people away from the divine feminine. Specifically keeping two women away from the divine feminine. But I'm getting that story when I'm seeing that song. Okay, so that's happening in the background. Ooh, I got little goosebumps. So you have like a knight in shining armor racing towards you, cutting down anything in its path that stops it from getting towards you, gets in your way, right? But I feel like the reason why they're doing that is because they feel like they need to do that. Because why would you bother the Queen of Cups? The Queen of Cups doesn't bother anybody. Like, she's just a big ball of sunshine, and she just wants to hug everybody. And, you know, if you need to cry, let it out. Right? That's the Queen of Cups. Like, why would you bother the Queen of Cups? The Queen of Cups doesn't bother nobody. Right? She's just so sweet, kind, and nurturing, and she's just, you know, do you need a sandwich? Do you need a hug? Do you need a bath? You know, let me take care of you. Let me nurture you. Like, you know, talk to me. What's going on? She's that kind of energy. So why would you bother someone like that? Right? And then you have people that want to create conflict with the Queen of Cups. They want to create conflict with the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is just there. Like, and it's so sad, too, because the Queen of Cups is very understanding. She knows why these people are even trying to create conflict with her. She knows. She sees it. Right? The Queen of Cups is not an aggressive queen. She's not gonna fight. She's not aggressive. She's not, alright? It's not saying that she doesn't have it in her, but she's just not, that's just not who she is. And I feel like that's why that King of Wands is, like, in the energy. Because the King of Wands will put hands and feet on anybody. Right? If it's justified, yes, they will. So it's kind of like, I think that's why. Because the King of Wands, they're looking at you, the Queen of Cups, and they're like, why would you bother someone who's not even bothering you? And I feel like that's why. And in that reading, it was the Queen of Pentacles that came out that he was defending. So you're just minding your own business, working on your resources, your finances, your stability, not bothering anybody. Alright? And I think that's really PISSING, making someone really, really mad. Right? It's POing off the King of Wands. Okay, so let me not, that's what's going on around, right? It's like that. Judgment reverse, Four of Cups upright, and the King of Wands reverse. Jesus. I was just talking about the Queen of Wands upright. That's sad. So this could be another King of Wands. This one came out in the reverse. So we have Judgment reverse, the Four of Cups upright, and the King of Wands reverse. Okay, there could be a King of Wands reverse. So you have a King of Wands upright in your energy. So you have two King of Wands. Alright? They could both be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or they could be other signs. But you have one King of Wands that will put hands and feet if it's justified. And then you have another King of Wands. They just, anybody can get it. It doesn't matter who you are, right? But I feel like there's a King of Wands in reverse that they don't like how things are turning out. They don't like how things are ending up. So this is this could be a karmic masculine that wants to keep you stuck in the past with them, right? Because they're in your past and they don't want that. They don't like that, right? They can't accept that. They can't accept that they are in your past. And that and not only that too, but it's like the Queen of Cups is very understanding. She's very understanding, okay? And I feel like people be taking advantage of that because it's like the Queen of Cups, as understanding as she is, it seems she can be seen as very lenient, okay? Because she's sweet and she's kind. So she could be seen as very lenient, so I feel like that's one of the reasons why people get so comfortable, I don't know, just kicking her down, right? People get comfortable kicking down the Queen of Cups because she's lenient, or she's seen as lenient and sweet and kind, and she's very understanding, okay? But anyway, so you have this King of Wands that's just not happy. They feel like they're a big failure. They want to keep you stuck in the past. They don't want things to change. I keep getting the word that essentially they want to lock you up, right? I don't think. Here's the thing. I don't think it's more like in prison jail. I feel like this person is kind of like, it puts the lotions in the baskets kind of energy. Like if they could put you in a room and lock you up, they would. That's okay. There's a dark obsession that this King of Wands has with this Queen of Cups upright. Okay. It's giving Buffalo Bill. It puts solutions in the basket energy. This could be somebody who is always wondering why things are happening. Why? And because they don't know why. I was just saying this because they don't know why they do worse things, or they go down the wrong path, and they're just very like they're not like, what's not clicking, Steven? Like, they're not getting it. They just don't get it. And I think it makes them feel some type of way because you're the Queen of Cups. You see why. Not only why they're the King of Wands in reverse, but because they're the King of Wands in reverse, they're doing XYZ. And because they're doing XYZ, they're feeling XYZ, and then ABC, and then la 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 la, right? The Queen of Cups, she knows. She sees this King of Wands for who they really are. She sees, right? And she sees why this King of Wands in reverse is in the Four of Cups upright. Why he's unhappy. Why he's bored. Why he's not content. Why he's not satisfied with what he has. Why he's not grateful, right? He's got a lot of things in front of him, these are things given to him by God. Look, but they're not happy. They could be getting things by God and they're not happy with it. Well, that's not fair. I want this or I want that or whatever the case it is, right? They're not. And that's exactly why, like, essentially, God is bringing down the hammer on them. Okay, well, if you're not happy, then I'm taking away the Queen of Cups. I think that's what it was. God is taking away the Queen of Cups from this King of Wands reverse. And it's making the King of Wands reverse be like Buffalo Bill. It puts solution in the basket kind of energy. Like, this King of Wands wants to, like, lock this Queen of Cups up. So that way they're always stuck in the past with them. They can't move on from them. It's really giving that energy. Like, this King of Wands reverse does not want this Queen of Cups to move on from them. They want them to always be stuck, tied down, or be involved with them. Like, it's giving your mind energy. It's giving you can't move on, you can't leave, you can't go anywhere kind of energy. Okay. And this Queen of Cups, like, she obviously that's not flying with the Queen of Cups because she went through a rebirth. She sees that. It's whatever happened. This King of Wands reverse is I don't know, kind of psycho death reverse. They don't want something to change. And I'm also getting that this King of Wands reverse is looking at this Queen of Cups like she's out of his grasp. She's out of his reach. Thank you. She's out of his... My lights just flickered. She's out of his grasp, out of his reach. Like, he can't get to her. He can't get close to her. He can't... It's like trying to catch smoke. It's like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. Alright? That's from Harry Potter. Alright, let me get a couple more.
What do I have?
Devil reverse. You detached yourself from this King of Wands reverse. Let me see, baby. How many? That's 2?
Yeah, I got them.
I love them. They're so cute.
Yeah.
So yeah, you detached yourself from this King of Wands reverse, and now this King of Wands is trying to do whatever they can to keep you in the past with them. Alright? To keep you stuck and bound with them. But I think this King of Wands reverse, they're confused. They don't know how to do this. Wow, that's actually really sad.
Go in the tree.
Judgment reverse and the Chariot reverse. What happened, Pumpkin?
The trees.
You have trees in there? Make sure you water your trees, okay? Yeah, Judgment reverse and the Chariot reverse. This is someone who feels like they're like in a dark, dark hole, and they can't get you to be in that dark, dark hole with them. Right? By choice, by your own free will. Like, you're not going to wake up in one day. The Queen of Cups is not going to wake up and say that she wants to live in a dark hole with the King of Wands reverse. First of all, like, the Queen of Cups, she's very sweet, kind, and nurturing, right? The King of Wands reverse is like will be a detriment to the Queen of Cups' health. Very abusive, controlling, can't lead, can't guide. I mean, hello, he can't even 44. He can't guide himself out of this dark hole. He can't lead himself to the light, right? And he wants his Queen of Cups to go down there. Whereas the Queen of Cups cannot shine down there.
But please, I love you.
I love you too, Pumpkin.
And I love you so much every time.
I love you so much every time too.
I gotta know it.
So the King of Wands is very volatile, very angry, abusive, mean. Okay, doesn't really know what to do, where to go. The Queen of Cups is not going to willingly let me crawl down that hole with you. No, that's not. I feel like there's another King of Wands, right? Right? He's marching, racing to the real King of Wands upright is marching to the Queen of Cups upright. Okay, it's kind of like there's a battle about to break out between these two King of Wands, one karmic and one not karmic, right? Because the karmic one is trying to bring down the Queen of Cups upright, and the King of Wands upright. Like he's more in control, more aware. He doesn't let his anger and frustrations like eat him up, like the King of Wands reverse, right? If he has anger and frustration, he'll utilize that to like stand in his power. Like he knows how to alchemize that energy, right? So he's essentially, there's two King of Wands going after the Queen of Cups, but one is karmic. One wants to keep the Queen of Wands, or oh my gosh, you could be a Queen of Wands too. Wants to keep the Queen of Cups bound to them, and that King of Wands that's marching. I'm getting like that marching song theme, whatever. He's going towards the Queen of Cups. I feel like the Queen of Cups, the reason why this King of Cups feels like the Queen of Cups is so unreachable is because the Queen of Cups can she sees who this King of Wands reverse is on the inside, and she knows to distance herself. She knows that. She sees that. She feels that. She's a Queen of Cups, right? You can't hide who you are on the inside from a Queen of Cups. She's going to see before you see yourself, and clearly this King of Wands reverse cannot see themselves, okay? I see you before you can see me. And that will always be a problem, because how can you expect to see me when you can't even see yourself? The Tower of Reverse came out. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this King of Wands is trying to find a way to trap you, because he doesn't want anything to change. And I've been saying this from the very beginning. Change is inevitable. Change, movement, flow, right? The unexpected. Energy of the unexpected. This was always bound to happen, because this King of Wands reverse was not trying to change, right? They're not trying to change. If you don't want to change, that's fine. That's your prerogative. You don't have to if you don't want to. But that does not mean things around you, people around you, it's not going to change. You can say, I hate winter, I don't want it to be winter, right? Winter's not going to care. Winter's going to be there, right? Sure, enjoy your summer, of course, right? Once summer is over, it's what? Autumn. Once autumn is over, what? Winter, right? So now this person is stuck and miserable because, you know, I can't believe winter's already here. I hate winter, right? Meanwhile, the Queen of Cups understand why winter is necessary, why winter is important, right? Somebody wants you stuck in the past, and it's this is inevitable. This change was inevitable. This was going to happen. Okay, you were always going to move on from this King of Wands. Reverse. Sorry, my brain is like one hop this time. So yeah.
Yeah.
So let me move on. Oh look, I even built this as a tower. Look. It's like a tower on my cards. So the Queen of Cups can see that this King of Wands reverse was trying to build a false tower, right? A false castle, trying to keep her in a castle, like this illusion, right? Trying to keep her trapped in an illusion. And she sees it. I feel like that could have been also the rebirth. Like she was like, wait a minute, This isn't even real. This isn't real. Okay. All right. Let me get. I was gonna say one more, but I was gonna say 1 or 2 more, but one came out, so maybe 5, 4. We have the 5 of Swords reverse. I did mention the 5 of Swords upright. Oh my gosh, 5 of Swords upright. Okay, I mentioned the 5 of Swords earlier and the 5 of Wands earlier. Okay, you're gonna have to say something. You're gonna have to use your voice against this King of Wands reverse. Maybe speak your truth or say something to them, or speak your truth in general. All right, but there's a King of Wands reverse. This could be the person that wants to create conflict with you. All right. I feel like with the Queen of Cups upright, you're gonna have to learn how to be a little bit more. Usually, I feel like the Queen of Cups is like, "What do you need? How can I help you?" Right? But I feel like the Queen of Cups is gonna be like, "You need to walk away." It's something like that. You're gonna have to really like use your words, like use the words that are coming out of your mouth to cut this person out, right? To get rid of them. You're gonna have to be really, really strong with your words, right? Borrow some energy from
My last pack like this.
3 of Pentacles upright on the bottom of the deck. You do have support. People can see this. People are supporting you when it comes to this transition, this change. All right. Just make sure you have a lot of behind your words when it comes to this. All right. Saying no is enough. Saying no is enough. All right. You're gonna have to really say no. All right. And I feel like with the Queen of Cups upright, when the 5 of Swords upright, the Queen of Cups, I feel like the reason why people tend to feel so comfortable kicking down the Queen of Cups is because the Queen of Cups is always seen as someone who is selfless, right? But in this situation, especially with this King of Wands reverse, you're going to have to be selfish, all right? Selfish with yourself, with your energy, your love, your time, your attention, with what you have, because I'm also seeing the Queen of Pentacles upright. You have to be selfish when it comes to this person. Say no, 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 that's mine, no, you can't, no, I don't want, no, all right? You're gonna have to. All right, last one. I'm making good on time, actually. I'm pretty... What was that? The 10 of Wands... Or the... Oh my gosh. The 10 of Swords reverse. Alright? You're free from burden. I feel like whatever burdens that this King of Wands was trying to put onto you, you're free from that. Right? But also, with this 10 of Swords reverse, you're healing from something that this King of Wands put you through. Right? I also feel like there's something about being trapped, right? Obviously, that was... Right, you're free from some sort of binding betrayal. I feel like this King of Wands reverse wanted to betray you in such a way that it would bind you to them, that you would have no choice but to stick around, or you would feel like it's now your burden. But you're free from that. You freed yourself from that. You avoided something like that. All right, you avoided some sort of binding burden, right? Some sort of betrayal that was going to burden you and make you feel like you. Well, since I'm already here, I might as well stay in this hole with you, Queen of Wands reverse, right? But you avoided that. You escaped something like that. And I feel like what really saved you is your ability to see this King of Wands for who they are. You see that. You see them for who they are. Wow, that's beautiful. 10 of Cups upright. That's your energy. The Queen of Cups upright with the 10 of Cups upright. You found your happiness, and that's why you're at such a distance from this King of Wands reverse, because you know your 10 of Cups does not lie with this King of Wands reverse. Maybe it's the King of Wands upright that's heading towards you, right? That's on their horse. Oh my gosh, I wanted to say boat, trail, train, whatever. This King of Wands upright, they're gonna get towards you. They're gonna find a way to get to you no matter what, whether it's by boat, train, yacht, airplane, walking, riding a bike, car, horse. They're going to you. They're gonna make sure that they get to you. It doesn't matter. You see, like in cartoons and movies all the time, where someone has to get towards a destination, right? And at first they start off running, and they see a little kid on their bike, and they say, "I need your bike," and then they steal the bike and they start going, right? And then they see someone getting in a taxi, and then they get off the bike and, "I need your taxi." It's like the closer that they get to you, the faster the mode of transportation is, and that's that King of Wands upright. That's who's coming towards you, right? This Queen of Cups knows that her 10 of Cups is not with this King of Wands reverse. She's not going to be able to grow a family, create a family, grow happiness, feel happiness, overwhelming success, create a lineage, create a family, right? Long lasting, right? Something long lasting is not with this King of Wands reverse, so she knows that. You know that. Alright, so this is a reading. Hope it helps my aim.